Hello, I'm Ed Bennett and this is my reflective video for advanced modelling. I opted to make a steampunk style T-Rex. The basic design of the character came to me during the first lecture. So to model it, I got this basic outline of a T-Rex to get the basic proportions. I found this good website which about steampunk machines. I found this image which was really useful because it's basically the inner workings of a steam engine. And a lot of these elements I included in my character in the end, like the boiler and this whistle and gas tank. I looked at images like this to get my colour design, a lot of brass colours and metals and a lot of scratches and wear and tear on the edges and localised areas. This element here I used with this pipe for the eventual design, and this is the inner workings with cogs and I basically used this outline of the dinosaur to get the right proportions, and it was quite a this is the chair from the Time Machine film, and the hat from Catlin, which was I included in the character to give it more sort of a steampunk style. These are the basic colours I decided to go with, and then the assignment was about making a realistic dinosaur, but Greg suggested that I make it a bit more chibified, so I made the head larger and the feet larger. So it's turned out a bit stylized, and I improved the tail by taking inspiration from these snakes, and I got this sort of this is my Polycount forum thread, and I got a lot of nice comments here about the design of the character, and got some nice suggestions about to improve the tail and things like that, and someone did me a nice paint over here to improve the textures. To do the texturing, I looked at this next gen texturing techniques by E3D. To make the high poly version of the character, I had to use triple edge loops, but I found this double smooth, putting two smoothing turbo smooths onto a mesh, utilising the smoothing groups, can also achieve this effect. So I didn't actually do that for this character, but next time I will definitely do that, because I spent a lot of time putting in the smoothing groups, and I could have utilised them to make the high poly. Retopologizing was a simple process because the base mesh had all the topology already in place. When unwrapping the character, I reused a lot of the UV space, such as this cog. That's for all the cogs on the mesh, apart from this little one here, which is on the character's arm. I didn't use symmetry on places such as the head, because I wanted to have unique details on each side. For the texturing, I tried to put localized damage around the edges. It sort of works, but it could have been better. With the specular, I sort of put more time and effort into it to try and highlight areas instead of just getting the diffuser and making it black and white. With the normal, I used X normal to add details over the projected normal detail that I got, and I also separately projected details for things like bolts and things, and then overlaid them onto here without the blue channel. Looking at industry work, here's the Marauder from StarCraft 2, and it's got the same idea of having like wear and tear on the edges and localized damage, which I think it's done better here. I could have improved my localized wear and tear. I think it's even better on this Hellbat model, Firebat model, sorry. Around the sections of the armor sections, it's worn down. I rigged the character up using Cat in Max I've had quite a lot of experience with Cat. I've been doing it for 2.5 years, so I know how it works and things. But with this character, I tried to add a lot of bones so I could get a lot of movement in the lots of different elements to make a very motionful character. I did run into issues. For example, this hydraulic here. I put these extra bones in, and they were supposed to be look at targets, which the bones would look at to keep there, so they always look at each other, which was required because of the nature of the bone structure of the leg. But this worked, but it caused the bones to flip now and again, so I had to scrap that idea and just manually make them look at each other. But it still sort of works, so that's okay. Another issue was with the 3 bones in the leg. It caused flipping there, and to solve that I had to mess around with these IKFK num-IK bones and retargeting numbers until it's sorted that issue out. Rigging the character up was a really simple process. I've rigged loads of characters up in my time, so with this particular character it's really easy to rig because it's made up of elements. I just select the entire element with vertexes and then just input the value I want with the ABS effect. I had to blend it a little bit in areas such as these pipes, but that was a very simple process. Here's the pretty basic material setup. I've got specular power, which I used the normal specular and ran it through a 25 multiplier to get it to actually show up. And I've also improved the depth of the normal map. This is the anim tree. It's basically used by the engine to blend between animations. So we have the idle and the walk, and we use this slider to blend between them. The physics asset is used for the death animation, where the character just falls over and the physics take over and it collides with other objects in the scene. So I set up this character to basically fall apart into lots of little pieces when it dies. I think that's a really cool, unique aspect of this character, so I really wanted to do that. There are slight issues. For example, this hydraulic piece, there is no geometry underneath here to support it, so you can see a hole. The reason for that is when I was modelling it, I wasn't aware of this capability of the engine, so I didn't prepare the model for that, but next time I certainly will. As you can see, it has quite a spectacular death, and the bits can get shot and all over the place and things. There's certain pieces that had to be attached still, such as the head piece and the body, because of these pipes. They would get, if the head shut off, then the pipes would get stretched across the entire map, which would look terrible. This is just a really simple kismet to basically spawn enemies on this path node. We had to basically introduce some scripting, like modification script, to the pawn class to basically make it spawn a dinosaur instead of a human. Just to compare with other mechanical dinosaurs, I really like this one. It's got glowing eyes, which is something that mine lacks. I think that's really cool, and I like the design of this dinosaur. It's matching the Iron Man look quite well. It's nice and clean. I could have perhaps suggested adding like wear and tear on the edges, but then again, the Iron Man suit is quite clean most of the time. I think the arms are too human and should be smaller to look more like a T-Rex, however. I really like this dinosaur as well. It's got a lot of wear and tear and sort of rust on large sections. It looks really good. I like all the little details he's got, and the glowing again really adds to the piece. I think the only issue really is these barrels on the top. They're quite low poly, and that sort of stands out quite a bit. I think you could have salvaged some polish from the little elements such as these handlebars to make them more sort of rounded. I quite like the design of this character. It's got quite a skeletal look to it. I like these sort of plates, and it's got quite a bit of wear and tear away on the paint. I think the main issue with this dinosaur is the feet are quite small, and it doesn't look like it could support the kind of weight that the dinosaur is. Again, I think the main downfall of this one is the legs and feet are too small, and it doesn't look like it can support the weight of the character. It looks too forward heavy as well.